Today on The Occult Detective, I have a question for you. What book had the biggest influence on your life? I want to tell you a story. In the summer of 1974, I went to stay with my grandparents, and they had a nice two-story house. A little run down, but I kind of liked it. I was 8 years old. I was already fascinated by Universal Monsters and Carl Kolchak and The Sixth Sense, and well, you get the idea. In the bedroom I stayed in, upstairs, there were all sorts of old chests and storage lockers and such, and all the things that had belonged to my great-grandmother, who was in a nursing home at the time. Yeah, the thing about her is I never heard her speak, not that I recalled. We would go visit her every Sunday after church, and she would lay there in her bed wiping tears from her eyes. Her eyes watered incessantly. And we'd bring her graham crackers, and you'd hold her hand and she'd kind of lightly squeeze it. But like I said, never heard her speak. But that summer in 74, one night I decided to kind of dig around in those old steamer trunks and such. And that's something I wasn't supposed to do, but being a precocious child, I did. And in one trunk, it was filled with all manner of like astrological charts and pamphlets on when to plant crops based on the conjunction of the moon and stars, and really fascinating stuff. But as I dug deeper and deeper into this, I came upon a book. It was Unseen Forces by Manly Palmer Hall. This is that very book that I found that day, 50 years ago, this summer. So, the cover, of course, captivated me. I didn't know it at the time, but Manly Palmer Hall referred to this as Paracelsus salamander. You research the picture and you'll find some other more lurid descriptions of what it depicts. But for me, that's how I knew the picture. This is a 6th edition. This book was printed in 1946. And as I sat there in that bedroom reading this, I was captivated, because all those things that I was fascinated by and wanted to believe in, well, they were all presented as factual in this book. This book detailed goblins and sylphs and undines and salamanders and gnomes and ghosts and the dweller at the threshold. It was fascinating to me, and the more I read, the more my worldview changed. And Manly Palmer Hall impressed upon me, in a way that it took what I saw as fantasy as a child, and it gave it a foundation. And that childhood fascination I had blossomed into a lifelong pursuit of the paranormal, the esoteric, the magical, trying to unfold and reveal the hidden mysteries of the world. I dove into archaeology and all manner of scholarly studies, largely because of this book. And granted, Leonard Nimoy's In Search Of probably helped out a lot too, but I think you understand my meaning. As far as books that had the largest impact on me, nothing impressed upon me more than this one. It's really an incredible read. I don't know if you're familiar with Manly Palmer Hall. He was born in, I think, 1901. He was a Rosicrucian, a Freemason. He gave lectures throughout the world. He wrote hundreds of books. Probably the most famous being The Secret Teachings of All Ages, which, if you've not read it, I highly recommend. Hall always kind of fascinated me due to my introduction to him through this. Here's an excerpt. Imagine yourself as an 8-year-old kid, fascinated by ghosts and goblins and grumpkins. The kind of kid who would sneak out of his parents' house late at night and sleep in graveyards, hoping to catch a glimpse of something preternatural. The ancient philosophers peopled the elements of nature with races and species unheard of by the average individual. The wise men of all ages claimed that nature works through intelligent forces and not through mechanical laws. Upon this hypothesis has been built the doctrine of the nature spirits and elemental larvae. Paracelsus, called the Swiss Hermes, and the first great physician of modern time, has given us the most complete analysis of these strange creatures who live, move, and have their being unseen and unrealized by mortal man. Though daily we see their works, we have never learned to know the workers, day and night, function through nature's finer forces. These elemental spirits may be divided into 3 groups. The elementals of the 4 elements are ethers, which were commonly known as the nature spirits. The man-created elementals of the astral and mental planes, and the dweller on the threshold, or the individual elemental. Yeah, he unlocked everything in this book. And it stayed with me all this time. It's the foundational work in all my paranormal studies. A foundational work in the occult detective fiction I write. So tell me, what book had the biggest impact on you? I'd love to know.